All right, everybody, welcome back to my Bearded Wonder channel. For those who don't know, my name is Todd. Bearded Wonder is what my wife calls me, probably because she wonders what's wrong with me most of the time. Well, this video is because I've been doing a carnivore diet, and today is day 40. So I'm super excited about that. I am recording this video earlier in the morning from when it comes out, mainly because I wanted to talk about the fact that I'm actually on day 40. And I'm super excited about that because I really, in trying in the past before and trying other diets, I don't think I've ever actually gotten to day 40. And of course, we have to probably take away one day because of my daughter's wedding, but we're not going to talk about that. Remember, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, so day 40, and now I started the week last week at 220.6, and I've gotten down to 217.9. So not losing a lot of weight this week. I also have not been doing any type of fasting or progressive fasting, but I am still seeing improvements. And I am only eating carnivore. And when I say carnivore, I mean animal products only. So let me give you a breakdown on basically what I've eaten for the last week. One thing I want to tell you is I have not been taking my blood sugar this week. I've been completely forgetting, but yesterday when I got up and took it, it was 103, so it was back over 100. Not really sure why, but it has fluctuated in the middle 90s most of the time when I've been taking it the last 2 weeks. But this one actually went over 100, and so just got to be careful and watch what I'm doing. My beats per minute, as far as my heart is concerned, have been low 90s, middle 80s, high 80s, but my scale is not reading that right now, so I've missed the last 5 days because I can't get it to read it for some reason, and I'll try to figure that out and try to let you know. I am also considering start taking my blood pressure, and the reason why is several years ago the doctor had prescribed me blood pressure medication, which I took for a while and then just stopped taking it once I started feeling better. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I did that because I don't like taking medication. The last time I took it was a week or so ago when I had the bad vertigo episode, but my blood pressure was almost perfect. So I do think my blood pressure has gotten to where it's relatively normal pretty much the whole time, but I want to start keeping track of that so I can tell y'all if anything changes. Let's see. Let me give you an example of what I've been eating for the last week. And I will tell you, I was sick a couple of days. I had a really bad sore throat. I don't know that I really ever ran fever, but it was kind of felt like strep, but I don't think it was strep throat. I think it was just, bad sore throat. On those days, we have some hot breakfast sausage that we had from some pigs that we had processed, and I usually eat those when I have a sore throat. Don't ask me why, but that kind of sausage always makes my throat feel better. It's been that way since I was a child. My mom would always make it for me, and it always helped. And I don't know if it has something to do with the peppers that were in it, or it's just something to do with the fact that pork. I don't know, but I've always done that, and so I did that a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Had some straight beef sausage several times, and I try to make sure when I get those sausages that there's like no sugar added, or like so low carb that you don't eat, it's negligible. So I try to do that when I buy those. It's like those sausage links. We had pork ribs this last week. We've had a lot of chicken. We had some chicken tenders wrapped in bacon. Those were really, really good. They tasted awesome. We've had hamburgers and cheeseburgers a couple of times. We're basically just, smashed hamburger with cheese on top, and then put another one and another cheese on top. Good stuff. I do still drink milk, yogurt, and kefir. Kefir is like every other day. I might take a swig of it. I did not have any yogurt this week though. I didn't have any, but I do still drink milk on occasion. And let's see, we had some chicken wings this week, and I've had coffee 2 or 3 times, and I always put heavy cream in my coffee when I have it. That's about the only way I'll drink coffee. But I'm doing that because by drinking coffee, I'm not craving like an energy drink. Even if it's sugar-free, I'm not craving an energy drink. I'm just having coffee. And we did have some sugar-free barbecue sauce that we added to the wings one night, and it was pretty good. And I tried to make sure it didn't have anything extra in it and stuff like that. It's a name brand, but by looking at the nutrition label, it looked relatively okay. So, but if I can figure out a way to make it myself, I'll make it myself, and we'll talk about that at a later date. But basically, that's what we're looking at for the past week. And I tried pretty much only to eat when I was hungry. I had a couple of nights where I probably ate a little bit more than I should have. But I think that was when I was eating the beef primarily, because I just liked it. I love the taste of beef. Okay, let's see. Oh, another thing is, I also noticed a couple of times when I was weighing, because I use a scale that's attached to an app, that I was always holding my phone, watching it as the scale was going, and I realized, that I may have given myself a few extra ounces here and there, and so I'm blaming it on the phone, just saying. All right. So overall this week, I'm kind of sitting at a plateau. I am going to try to eat more beef and eat a little bit less of some other stuff, but I do have a lot of chicken in the freezer right now, and so I'm going to have to take care of that. But and I did have a lot of pork last week, which is not normal, but it was some of the pork that we did process that we're trying to get rid of, or trying to go through. I did have a few bouts of vertigo this week. I think it's actually not related to the carnivore at all. I think it's completely related to my ears. When I take a shower, sometimes the water will get stuck in my ears and it won't drain, very quickly or whatever. I really think that's what the problem was I was having last week. I did have it a couple times, and it really primarily just bothered me when I laid down. And when I'd lay down and get up, it was just that change in movement. But for the most part, it's gone away. Let's see. I have a recumbent bike, which is one of the bikes that you sit down on and pedal. We're going to bring that over. We don't have it here at the house. We're going to bring it back over to the house. We're going to set it in our bedroom. And my wife and I are going to start using it. And then after I use it for a while, I feel like my legs get a little stronger. I'm going to start walking with one of the dogs. I said I was going to do that earlier, but I don't really want to go walking long distances right now, because I do have problems with my knees sometimes. And I want to get my knees a little stronger. And then I want to start walking with the dogs. And I think that'll be a good way to start. But I am going to also start using some hand weights. I have some light hand weights, and I'm going to do some exercises with those. I may start filming some of those workouts once I get them organized how I want to do them, so you get an idea of what I'm doing, so that if we see it aiding in my progression, then we'll know, hey, this works. But right now, I still don't quite have the idea of what I want to do. Now, I will let you know, I do have a kinesiology degree, which is crazy that I allowed myself to get so overweight and so out of shape, and because I know what's right and wrong. But I hadn't followed it in the last few years. So I'm going to try to put that to use. So we're going to do a little bit of exercising, a little bit of cardio, some weightlifting, and then start doing some stretching too, because that actually is really good for you too. Let's see. But we're going to make a run for 200. Now, I understand that in some instances, because of weightlifting and things like that, or whatever I'm going to be doing, that as I get stronger, some of that weight is going to stay, because it'll be like bone density or muscle hypertrophy, or whatever you call it, where your muscles get a little bit stronger. That weight may not change, but I'm still carrying a lot of fat around my belly, and I want to get rid of that. And I know when that fat goes, I should be getting close to 200. Realistically, I think my end goal is somewhere around 170 pounds. It may be a little heavier, because I've never really been a skinny guy, but I'm not a thick guy. So we're going to have to kind of play with that number, but the goal right now is to get to 200 pounds, okay? And I really think when I'm finally at that point, I think that gut issue is going to be almost gone. That's the goal. And of course, there's always a little fat around these areas and stuff like that should come off with it too. And I think you should see quite a bit of difference. Let's see. So one of the things that's a problem with this diet is trying to find sources of meat. And I wanted to just relay this to you really quick because my belief, and from what I've read and from some of the notable people who push carnivore, is red meat is the best thing in terms of carnivore. And for me, that's primarily beef. So what I've been trying to do is look for ways to purchase beef, since I don't own a farm, to purchase beef and be able to save a little bit of money. What we're going to be doing in the next few weeks is we're going to be traveling to some of the wholesale stores that sell large things of meats, like the full chuck or rib section or stuff like that, or even like getting some pork belly or full loins or like that. We're going to start trying to find some of that stuff and cutting up some of our own product. Now, what we've already started doing is buying bulk chicken stuff. And one of our homesteading videos, Everyday Wonder Homestead, go check it out. We showed that we'd bought a bag of chicken quarters, and it was 56 cents a pound, and it was 10 pounds. So we weren't paying hardly anything for that bag of chicken quarters. And so it was a super good price. So you have the chicken thigh, and then you have the drum, or the leg, whatever you call it, drumstick. And you can separate those and fry them separately if you want to, or you can fry them whole. I have a video on Everyday Wonder Homestead where I took some and I got them crisp and fried in the frying pan, and then I put them in the oven to finish off, and they were super, super good. We made a sauce with it later. Now the sauce wouldn't be carnivore because it was some kind of bourbon sauce that was really good, but we're not eating that right now. But it's a good source of chicken, and it usually costs cheaper because it's thighs and drumsticks, and people don't normally buy them like that. Also, we found this last time, we found bags of wings where it's the drumette, the wing, and then the tip. And like that, they're also a lot cheaper. I don't remember exactly what the price was on those. I need to start making notes on all this stuff so I can tell you. But one of our local box stores sold them like that, and it wasn't a name brand thing. It was just chicken, and it was fresh. It wasn't frozen. It wasn't like that. And so what we did is we basically take them, bring them home, take them apart so that you have the drumettes and the wing, and then we would cook them like that. So we've had wings twice this week. Fantastic. One time we used the sugar-free barbecue sauce. One time we just did a seasoning, and it was just like super, super good, and absolutely I love wings. So if that's something that we can do consistently and not pay a lot of money for it, because if you buy them already pre-done in big packages and stuff like that, pre-cut up and everything, it's usually a lot more expensive. So when I found this, that was the first thing I did. Is I bought a package, took them home, separated them out myself, put them in their own individual freezer bags to about what you would eat at a sitting, and then put them in the freezer. And so we'd pull one out, and that would be what we'd have, get it defrosted, cook it, and that would be what we'd have that night. And then the rest of them are still in the freezer for whenever we want them later. Also found some processed chicken breasts. They're a little bit less expensive because they haven't been completely cut up and made pretty and all that kind of stuff. And we had a pretty good price on those. I haven't seen them again since, but we would take 2 breasts out, and they were good thick breasts. We would put those each individual in a bag, seal them up, put them in the freezer. It's always the price per pound you have to look for. Sometimes the price per pound, if it's low, you have to put a little work into it, but you will save money. Okay, now let me get off my soapbox on that. Let me finish out what we're doing. All right, let's see. Like I said, today was day 40. Had a little bit of sausage this morning. And other than that, that's it. And we're shooting towards 200. I will let you know. I might put another video out this week letting you know what I'm going to do in terms of fasting if I decide to do that again, because it seems like when I fasted, everything worked better. Or I might change how I eat during the day, and I might only eat during certain times, like I was doing the progressive fast. But we'll see. And everybody that has been praying for me or sending comments or anything like that, I appreciate it very, very much. Keep doing that for me. And hopefully one of these days you'll be watching this video and going like, holy crap, that guy's actually good looking now and skinny. So I don't know, we'll see. But thank you very much for watching this video. I will see y'all next week for sure. And we'll see you on the next one.